Well, with the Alliance, man, what they had done with the night they formed it, at first ECW kind of formed mid show. I think it was, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was like me and Raven and the Dudleys in the ring.
Mhm.
And and a bunch of other ECW guys came in, and it looked like we were going to attack the Dudleys, and we all ended up kind of pairing up and becoming, Heyman was out there, and it became like you could tell the ECW guys had formed a faction,
Yeah.
and by the end of the show, literally an hour later, the Alliance was formed. And it was so obvious because I think we were in Atlanta at the Georgia Dome when ECW had formed. The crowd popped. It was a really nice response. And then
Yeah.
at the end, when the Alliance formed, and Stephanie and that whole thing, it just like it really deflated the entire room. And and
Mhm.
with Steve it just could have been done. I think it would have been much more successful if they tried to play it closer to the truth of three promotions vying
Yes.
for, like WWF, ECW, and WCW. And, the Alliance was just a way, I guess, to make it easier maybe. But, it
Mhm.
was obviously, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but it was a cheaper way to book it. And it just, like I said, it just put a bunch of us in a
Yeah.
corner of Steve Austin, which really was useless at the time for me. We
Right.
were just background fodder.
Yeah, and we'll talk a lot about Steve Austin a little later in the show too. But yeah, I agree with you. If it would have been presented more as like ECW as its own thing, and then you have WCW and WWF because they had the talent there. They had you,
Sure. Yeah.
they had Dudley's, Raven. A lot of these guys are like background guys, but
Yep.
were had such a great run in ECW. But once they were just under the WWF umbrella, they just felt like you said, background. And it's a shame
Yeah.
because I think that was like the biggest thing of the invasion is they had no interest in building up those new
Right.
people that came in, right? The outsiders.
Yep.
Because guys like yourself, guys like Sean O'Hare, Chuck Palumbo, these like really talented guys that have the
Yeah.
look, they have everything. But for
Yep.
whatever reason, like you yourself were a great talker in ECW, but it felt like you never
Right.
got promo time.
Nope.
Just a
None at
handful
all.
of times, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So really, it just showed that they had no care about really crafting these storylines. It was
Mhm.
just we're gonna push ahead with the WWE agenda, but it should have been the WWE agenda. Like they try so hard to spin their own storylines when in essence reality
Mhm.
is if you would have just tried to stick to what pro wrestling fans already know and kind of use
Yep.
their past, their background to sort of help build you know what I mean? It doesn't take that much. They just have such an ego
Mhm.
that they're just not interested in it, and they do what they do, I guess.